Hello, my name's Gerrard McArthur. I'm the director of Forgotten Voices. This is the First World War testimonies, originally from the archive of the Imperial War Museum that McArthur famously took these testimonies and turned them into the transcripts of his book, Forgotten Voices of the Great War, which was a huge #1 bestseller.
My name's Maggie Ollerenshaw and I play Kitty Proctor in Forgotten Voices. I have a little personal connection to the First World War. My great-aunt's stepson enlisted in the army in 1915. As he was born in 1875, he was actually 40 years old at the time. So that was right at the upper age limit. I think it was 41. So he gets married also later in 1915, and in 1916 he's shipped out to France. He gets brought back home later that year because he's caught influenza. He recovers, and in 1917 he's being sent out again to France, and he gets taken ill on a troop train just outside Oxford. He has a coronary, and he's taken to Oxford General Hospital, where he subsequently dies. So it's a really sad little story.
Hello, I'm Nigel Anthony. I play Peter Newton in this very affecting piece that we're all involved in, and I'm very delighted to be so. I do feel a bit of an imposter slightly because I'm playing the only officer in this group, and it's very far from my background. I come from a very ordinary working class background, and I'm not an officer material at all. I've got none of the qualifications or history in my family or anywhere else. I think at the time of these events, both my grandparents were small-time variety artists and were trying to get work, and that's all they really thought about. One of my grandfathers was literally the back end of a horse. I mean, he later graduated to having a goose suit and playing one guaranteed job every Christmas in Mother Goose. So that's my background. But I am playing this very almost naive, I guess, character who really finds it very hard to mix with the ordinary men and the one woman.
My name is Geoff Leesley. I play Lawrence Todd, a sergeant in Forgotten Voices. My connection, I think, probably with the First World War is my maternal grandfather, who served in the King's Own Yorkshire Rifles, and he served on the Western Front. I suppose he's my hero, really, although I never actually met him because he died before I was born. But he was gassed, and I know that had a terrible effect on his life, apparently. And he suffered lung problems until he died relatively early in his life. But it's just a fascinating period and very poignant, and hopefully you'll come along and judge it for yourself.
Experience. There are no survivors now, of course, of the First World War, and these testimonies become even more precious.
Hi, my name is John Chancer, and I'm playing Joe Haynes, the American in this piece, who comes in at the end, which I guess is appropriate. As far as any kind of personal relationship to World War I, the only thing I can think of is my great-aunt's boyfriend was this guy called Vern Miller, who fought in World War I, was a decorated hero, and was gassed. And because of him being gassed, he ended up becoming, a few years later, public enemy #1 in America. And he caused the Kansas City massacre. So I guess that gives you an indication of what being gassed can do to you.
So we hope you'll come.